Got you. How about that? That fish wanted that. Got you.
My name's Tom Jarman, and in this series of videos, I'm going to be tying some flies, then jumping straight onto the water and showing you where and how to fish them.
That is insane.
Hey everyone, I'm on the river, and today I'm going to be tying for you and then fishing a very classic Australian dry fly pattern with a modern twist. So growing up in Victoria, my favorite dry fly pattern was probably a brown rusty dun. So what I'm gonna do for you today, I'm gonna tie a brown rusty dun, but not the parachute version. I'm gonna tie a CDC one. So I'm gonna be tying this fly on a size 14 dry fly hook here. Just tying with some black thread. It's absolutely fine. The thread color doesn't really bother me too much. Now we're gonna add a cockleon tail. Here, not too many fibers, but enough to make it worthwhile actually putting a tail on there. Perfect, like so. Trim this here. Now the body can just be tied out of any sort of rusty dubbing. This one I'm using here, it's kind of looks a bit gingery, but when it gets wet, it does go darker. So it is, you know, much more like the, you know, a lot of those kind of browny they're like a light browny mayfly you'll see on our rivers. This is pretty much what this color goes under the water. So like with all our bodies, we just want to try and find and create that nice taper from the back moving forwards. Again, we don't want the body to be too fat on this fly because it is a mayfly pattern. Make sure this dubbing beds down nicely. Now I'm just going to build up the taper a little bit more here as I redub this, because I'm not actually going to put in any more dubbing after this point unless I feel I need to build this up a little more. Perfect. I build up a little bit of a mound there, like so. Perfect. Trim off this little bit here. All right, now we're just going to tie in some Glow Bright for our sighter. I'll always have a sighter on my my fly if I can. So just fold that over a couple of times and lay that down there. Like so. Perfect, just make sure it's on top there. Now we need to tie in our CDC wing. Okay, so I've just laid on top of one another a handful of natural brown feathers like this. I'm going to strip the side off and then tie it in. If you haven't tied with CDC before, just know that you don't need as much as you think you're going to need. You don't need as many fibers or as much CDC as you think you're going to need to actually have the fly float. Add in another bit there. Just adding a fraction more here. And turn, tighten that down. Make sure they're all locked in nicely. Now I'm just going to trim these at the front here. And I'm just going to tie that down there. And now I'm just going to split the wing here. So I'm just going to look down from the top. Split the wing with my Glow Bright cider material, which will act as the cider as well. One turn there, and then I peel it back on top of itself, like so. There we are. Now I just need to put a hitch or two down there. Trim this cider back. I'm just going to put the tiniest dab of super glue on this. Just going to clear the eye with some wire. Perfect, and that thing is done. Now what we can do, the beauty of having it, the CDC, is we can just trim and kind of pluck these fibers to our liking, to our proportions. And if you look at that, we've got a beautiful, nice mayfly profile there that we're gonna go give a fish. All right, made our way down to the river here to a nice little piece. The water's got a little bit of color in it. We had a tiny bit of rain. Actually fantastic nymphing conditions, but with the dry, I think we'll still be able to get some to come up and eat it. We're really gonna try and focus on more of that even kind of pace current. Maybe if we do have a faster run like this, tucking on the edge of it and not trying to get one to come up in the middle of it where it is really nymphing water. Now we've just got a couple more things to prep with our setup before we get into it, which I'll show you now. Okay, so two critical pieces of equipment when dry fly fishing for me, some gel floatant and then also some line grease, because I'm gonna put some floatant on the dry now. Rub it in my finger like that. On the wing, on the body. Don't want to drown it, you just want to get it to kind of glisten nicely for you there. And then just some of this grease here to keep the leader floating nice and high. For me, makes it nice and easy to pick up, represent. If I need to mend, I put it on the end of the fly line there, all the way down my leader to where my tippet ring is. All right, now we're good to fish. So as far as, you know, why to use this fly, it's pretty good, you know, all the time. We get a lot of lighter colored mayfly on our rivers, which suits, you know, the kind of rusty dun color really well. We also get a lot of ants, like termites, in this kind of orangey color. We get mayfly spinners as well, so really good all-round color. The CDC version like this versus, you know, your paradun, they will work in the same scenario, so you don't need to stress that too much. I just do like all of the pros with the CDC, nice and aerodynamic, very little resistance when a fish does eat the fly. It's just a beautiful, clean, and very high floating, easy to see fly as well, believe it or not. They ride, you know, a little bit of CDC floats so well, and you wouldn't believe it until you see it with your own eyes, I should say. All right, well, we're just gonna poke up the edge up here, see if we can create a chance.
Look at that bubble line coming out from under that tree there. And I've just seen one rise off the tree up here. Got it. Oh, how good was that? Saw it rise. Nice fish. Come here, buddy. How good was that? Just rising in that soft little bubble line. It's a nice fish too. There it is. And where is our dry? Come on, open that mouth, buddy. Wow, that's a long way back. That's a forceps job. Hey. Popped our fly out. Get this beautiful brown back. Thank you, mate. And there it is. So cool. Beautiful sip. I was just fishing up this little bubble line coming out here, and then that fish rose off the side of the tree there. Lovely take too. Now to treat this fly, I'm just giving it a wash there. Gonna give it a little bit of a squeeze to dry it out. And it goes in the fly dip. And there's our dry, all dried off. Alright, I'm going to keep poking up through this tail out because, you know, I'll be able to fish up. I can see some, you know, nice bubble lines there. Another one might rise for me, but before I do, I'm just going to quickly throw a couple of drifts into this little bit to my left, which I haven't fished. Just want to make some drifts down that beautiful bit of a current there. Come on, it looks so good just on that grassy edge, just drops in out of the tail, but not there. Alright. Just gonna throw a few more drifts up here, move up into here to then fish across into the tail there, because I think my line will get caught by the current less fishing back across to it that way. Throw another one up along that edge just to be sure. I'm pretty sure it was just the one there. Got you. How about that? That fish wanted that. Ooh, cool coloured fish. Hey, hey, stay up. Beautiful markings on this fish. Hey, oh, nearly jumped clean way out of my net. That's a lovely fish. Look at the colours on that thing. That is spectacular. And another one that has woofed the fly that will need the forceps. Got you. Beautiful fish. Get you straight back again. Gosh, that monstered that. Well, that was fun. Caught a few nice fish on the rusty dun there. I love that fly. Very sentimental to me. Nice having it in this modern style, but you know, the traditional paradun style fly works really, really well as well. So, you know, how I fished it, you really could have thrown either and those fish would have come up to eat it. Like we said, when I jumped in, like the water's slightly off color and the fish didn't want to come up in any of the running water. So that's why I kind of moved in, tried to fish some flat water like the tail out, and then found a couple of fish. So always good learnings every day you get out on the water. Don't forget, there'll be links to all the gear that I'm using in the description below. Check that stuff out. You can also shop my fly range at the Fly Life magazine shop. You can also purchase a split wing there. You can purchase a rusty dun. So check out the full range there. They are absolutely awesome. Please like the video if you did. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys all next one.